and welcome to No Product, No Problem, Marketing Pre-Debut, a session as part of the Vtuber Writers Conference 2025. I'm Adara Spence, a YA paranormal romance and sci-fi writer, and my novel, Drawing Red, my debut, came out on March 1st, 2024. So I have been where you are, and been through the entire marketing pre-debut process. Throughout this session, I will be focusing on marketing through the lens of a pre-debut author. However, people should be able to find hints, tips and tricks that can hopefully help them too, even if they're further on in their careers. In today's session, we are going to spend the first 40 minutes discussing marketing pre-debut, followed by a 10-minute question and answer session at the end. There is a lot to get through, so this first section is recorded. After that, I will be handing over to myself in real time to answer any questions you might have. We will go through why consider marketing pre-debut and what's putting you off, marketing techniques you can use during the book creation process, and then pre-launch planning, pricing, promotions, and extra tips and considerations. To start with, why talk marketing pre-debut? These are just a couple of posts I have found that pop up on Reddit asking the same questions time and time again. These were just 2 of 4 I found in 1 week. Number 1. So I published my first book towards the end of April through Kindle Direct Publishing, KDP. I'm so proud of myself, as it's something I had been working on for years. Now I'm at the stage where all of my friends and family have purchased it, and I need to find a new audience. Any suggestions on how to build awareness around it so that I can find a larger audience? Number 2. Hi, I published my book on April 30th, and I'm really struggling with marketing. And on it goes. Hi, I published novel a week ago, or a month ago, and I'm getting no sales. What do I do? Do not become this person. This is why we are here. To put it bluntly, 7,500 ebooks are estimated to be published on KDP every day. And that's even with KDP introducing a cap of 3 per day limit to combat AI. In the words of Alexa Dunn, hope is not a marketing strategy. Alexa is a fellow author and author-tuber who works in marketing. Do not hit publish, then hope. Without marketing, your work will get lost and will never be found. So what is marketing? To put it simply, marketing is spreading awareness and increasing interest in a product in hopes of converting people into customers. You need to learn to see your book as a product that you want people to spend money to access or purchase. Your readers are your customers. This implicates a certain amount of quality and professionalism in every interaction. But marketing pre-debut is in a very unique position. Number 1. You have no books out, so no existing readers, or audience, or repeat customers to run to buy your work on release. You'll need to work extra hard to make readers take that chance to part with their cash for your work. On the plus side, you're a blank slate. You have the potential to choose and make your brand whatever you like. And remember, first impressions count. If the book is going to be the first in a series, it's the book that will need the most marketing and work, because it will have the most eyes on it, and it will need to do extra legwork to hook people into the series. So what puts you off marketing? Stop me if you've heard any of these things before. I don't have any money. It's too cheesy. I don't have time. I'm a writer, not a marketer. I don't have the skills. I'll sound like I'm bragging. I don't like social media. What if I don't finish my book? I don't have a book out already, so why would I have an audience now? Marketing is scalable, and you can make it fit whatever you need it to do what you need it to, and to fit around you. So let's flip these. What makes marketing easy? I can market for free. It's only as cheesy as I make it. I can take as much time as I want. I can use simple strategies. I deserve to brag about my book. I can use social media as much as I like, and use or join specific tags or groups. I choose what I advertise. Before advertising a book, I can advertise me. Not convinced? Whatever step you're at, you can make marketing work for you and make it fun. So let's explore marketing at different points of the book production cycle. Starting with, I have no book, but I know I want to publish. Step 1, advertise yourself. Why? Because in the age of social media, creator and creation are inextricably linked, and people feel entitled to know about you. Make that work for you to start gaining notice, connections, and a good reputation. Become known as a face people recognise and trust. Be the social in social media. Show you're human in a world of bots and not just a wall of product adverts. It takes a person 3 times to remember something. So keep turning up and be seen. Make it so that if you don't turn up, people will ask where you are. Every connection is a potential customer or eventual team member to help you launch your work. Bear that in mind as you communicate. So advertise yourself where? Embed yourself in reading and writing communities, both online and offline. Offline could include book groups, reading groups, family, friends, hobby groups, and fan groups. Online could include social media, blogs, doing book reviews, in fan and hobby forums, etc. A note on social media. While you don't have to do anything that you don't want to, it is highly recommended to look at social media because it's free and reaches a global audience. Try experimenting, posting at different times to reach different time zones. Give people a glimpse of what's to come by showing people what you like to read and write. People should say, wow, they're interesting and like what I like. I should follow them. You can make it as personal or as impersonal as you like, but offer them something. Some ideas. Blog or vlog book reviews and life updates. Follow other writers. Every writer is a reader, and their audience could follow you one day. Talk about your likes and dislikes in writing and the wider media. Complete book tag trends. Interview authors. Some tips. The algorithms won't punish you for taking a day off posting. It's your content, your life, your choice. Keep branding consistent across platforms, names, colours, fonts, images, while fitting the platform's style. Daunted? Create an alias or a pen name. Trial them out. Research them and lurk for a while. You don't have to show your face, though you might want to consider it later. Just stay consistent. This is the start of the brand of you. Adara Spence is a pen name, and I don't think I showed my face probably for at least 2 years, maybe. And even now, on video and streams, I prefer to be behind an avatar. It works for me. I used this avatar on Twitter for years. Here I am with a circle of new writer friends. I reached 10,000 followers before my debut. My Twitter banner was also on my website and YouTube. My slogan was simple: writing my story one day at a time. So how do you choose a platform? Ask yourself these questions. What skills do I want to use more or would like to learn? What would fit into my day and when? What would be fun that I could realistically sustain? Where are my potential readers? For example, Facebook, TikTok, local library groups, etc. Do I have the equipment necessary? Can I do something for free? Can I reuse content across platforms? Could the platform suddenly shut down or change ownership? Choose a backup. I recommend picking 2 platforms or places you think you could try depending on your interests, skills, and your reader target demographic to be your main focus. Because juggling every platform is a full-time job. I chose Twitter to start with around 5-6 years ago, mainly because I wasn't confident in videos. I wasn't confident in photography. I figured the writing community was more word-based anyway. And all I would do is say, okay, in the morning when I wake up and say, my goal today is to open a document. Bonus if I write a sentence. And then I would pop on and just create a very quick post at the end of the day as to whether or not I achieved that or not. Job done. The ups and downs, Elon took over. I lost some subscribers, however, they popped up on other platforms, namely Blue Sky and Threads. And now all I have to do is copy and paste my post from one platform onto the others. It doesn't take much longer to do, but I still primarily attempt to interact with people on my main channel, which would be X. So we've covered about you, but let's get back to the book, the non-existent book, and talk about plotting with marketing in mind. If you want to dive into the deep end, you can literally write to market. Plot a story that caters to current best-selling trends, for example, dark academia, romantasy, or self-help and productivity guides, etc. These books have to be produced quickly, because trends change fast. As soon as one genre becomes saturated, something else will pop up to take its place, or a new twist on a genre will emerge. If you don't want to chase that trend, you can still focus on plotting with marketing in mind by creating the book cover text first. Does it sound like something you'd read in that genre if you picked up a book? Create a tagline, a catchphrase to go on your front cover. Write your elevator pitch. This is, who is your main character? What do they want? What do they need to do to get it? What's stopping them getting it? And what happens if they don't get it? And lastly, challenge yourself to create a back cover blurb. Expand on your elevator pitch, including comparison titles. Don't give everything away, but tease and create intrigue. Identify popular genre tropes and expectations, for example, enemies to lovers, or happily ever after. Note, genre guilt and embarrassment will affect your marketing, so pick your genre and be proud of it. Examples from Drawing Red. Tagline 1. Silence is golden. Or is it? Tagline 2. Progress doesn't sleep, and neither does a vampire. Elevator pitch. Artist Lucy, 17, never imagined her first job would lead to chasing a rogue space vampire, let alone a kidnapped tree spirit. She must find her voice to navigate cross-Caneco family politics, including ex-best friend, for peace. I'm writing the first draft. Join writing groups and challenges. Post about your daily progress and encourage each other. Share little details about your project, like the age range and genre. Daily updates are ideal here. People will follow your writing journey and progress and become invested in it, seeing you turn up to it day after day. If you can't write together in person, join a community online, lots of people host live writing sprints on YouTube and Twitch, and there are a lot of word count challenges too for people to join. Then, when you reach the end, broadcast it and invite everyone to celebrate. Do you have an inspirational storyboard on Pinterest, or a playlist that's keeping you motivated to reach your word count goal? Share it. Let us get to know you and your work's vibe. This is a glimpse at my playlist that I used to write, and yes, I really have listened to this 821 times while writing. The number doesn't lie. I'm revising and editing. At this point, you may have made writer friends to swap your work with, such as alpha and beta readers. These will be some of your biggest cheerleaders. You can also spread the word of your work by entering competitions to attract a writing mentor, and at the same time test out your pitch and potentially book title to the masses. Make sure your book title follows genre conventions. There are also Twitter pitch competitions specifically to draw attention to your work, even for works in progress. Add your pitch, comp titles, and inspiration board together. These can also be combined into shorts videos for other platforms. You can also choose 4 inspiration images and add quotes and sections of your blurb to them. Don't be scared to showcase your pitch or genre-aligned book title at this point. It's a good gauge to measure people's reactions to it. People will understand this as a work in progress by using the shorthand WIP, WIP. Remember, even though the word count may not be going up, you still have plenty to talk about during editing and about life, so keep posting. My cats saw the camera more than I did at this point, even though I was starting to show my face. The internet loves pets. Bonus points. Stop. While it's always good practice to finish revising and editing a book to the end, you need to be certain that this is the right one for your debut and the direction of your author brand. Maybe there are other books you want to write in this series before rapid releasing them. If there are, turn back now before committing to the next marketing steps. If you shelve the book, no worries. Start on another with the community support you've built up to this point. Final edits and proofreading. You've decided, yes, this is the book I want to launch my career with. Now comes the mental switch from author to publisher. You are now preparing to create and launch a physical product. It's time to gather the materials and tools you think would be useful for more conventional product adverts and push the excitement of bringing your creation into the world. What have you seen others do that you would like to try? Make a list of everything you need to make it happen. Some ideas. Launch a newsletter to communicate directly with your customers. Enter writing competitions and awards for recognition from the writing industry you can display in marketing. Commission character art to use in ads, on merch and pre-order bonuses. Launch an author website. Commission or create cover art. People really do judge a book by its cover. Look at the style and trends of other book covers in the genre you're publishing as a guide. Set and stick to an arts budget, but remember, free and DIY are valid, and stay within your means. This is a shot of my author website. At this point, www.adaraspence.com was born. This is collected from beta readers, ARC readers, and contest placements. Pre-launch campaign. Having cover art means you can order physical proof copies, make tropes posters, hold photo shoots with your novel in different locations, and post them alongside taglines, selected quotes, and beta reader reviews. You can use your vibe pictures from earlier to create countdown teasers to build excitement. Try an animated cover or book trailer as you announce your cover reveal. Use art to create merchandise packs to sell to people who pre-order. Take part in writers' lifts on social media, and make sure to put your website on everything. When making your pre-launch plan, work backwards. Pick your launch date, then count back and schedule what posts and actions you need to do. For example, the date to tease the cover reveal, when to launch the pre-sale date announcement posts. Organise a street team, a group who will help advertise your book and receive advanced reader copies, called ARCs, to review and post on websites and online stores on release day. Time for an epic book marketing montage. This is me raising hype for the proof copy of Drawing Red, because it is almost finished. This was my strategy for my cover reveal teasing. Here are some graphics I put together from photo shoots and using my front cover to tease the novel in the run-up to its release. And here is the classic tropes poster, with the book cover in the centre and arrows pointing to indicate what contents you can find in the book. Tips for pre-launch and pre-sale. Your pre-launch push and pre-sale can be as long as you like. Amazon rankings don't work strictly by how many books are sold, but rather at the rate they're sold. Hype people up for a short pre-sale so they're eager to buy it. A short 1-week pre-sale with all your sales condensed could rocket your book towards the top of your category rankings. That worked for me. Also check where you are in the newest in category rankings, which is separate from the overall category rankings in your genre. If this is the first in a rapid release series, make sure the last page of your book includes a page with links or QR code to where readers can order or pre-order the sequel immediately. While you may think it's easier to choose a less populated genre to place your book to reach number 1, make sure it accurately reflects what your book is about so you reach the right readers. False expectations lead to bad reviews. Here's a screenshot of my paperback. Here it shows I've reached 4 in my genre category rankings. My paperback actually reached 3rd on Amazon in genre, although I didn't get a chance to screenshot it, and 1st on Ingram in genre for bestseller of the month. My hardcover, incidentally, reached number 26 on Amazon too. Pricing. Set your international prices instead of a random converted price to seem more professional. Note: stores set the prices of audiobooks themselves based on the length of the book, and you will not have the final say with that. If you have multiple formats and want one for people to choose over another, push that more. For example, more photographs of the physical book. If you have 3 formats, for example an ebook, a paperback and a hardback, increasing the price of some of the formats will make the other ones, the one you want to sell more, seem more tolerable. For example, if you have a hardback for $17.99, people will say that is steep. However, it makes a paperback at $9.99 or $10.99 much more of a palatable option, and they're more likely to go for it, even with the ebook there at $4.99. Why? Because they have seen the photographs. The paperback will be more likely to sell in this scenario. This is what I did, and I would say that almost more than 90% of my sales were paperbacks. Research the prices of similar books and formats and spend time to get this right. Pricing really is a hidden topic in marketing, and it's a one you want to get right. Promotions and discounts. Special launch discounts on ebooks can be created by applying to stores like BookBub in advance. KDP will claim your book cannot be sold for less than what is listed on Amazon, but companies like BookBub and Smashwords get around this by using a voucher system. If you have an audiobook version, places like ACX will give you free download codes to send out to potential reviewers. Always do your research, and if you set up any promotional discounts on launch, shout it from the rooftops. Here is an example of me advertising money off my book during a Smashwords sale. Have your release day graphics ready to launch, including offers on merch, and your social media banners and website ready to swap out to Out Now. And remember international time zones if you're aiming for a global readership. Where are you selling? Contact local readers groups, libraries, friends, family, or any specialty groups that may be interested in your subject matter. If your book involves local history or travel, contact the newspapers and local heritage organisations. If you embedded yourself in online book communities, offer to do reviews and send out ARC copies via email or services like BookFunnel for added encryption protection. If you want to sell to libraries and schools, use printers other than KDP like Ingram Spark. If you want to create banners to set up at stalls at conventions, research publishing companies who will give you a decent price on printing author copies in bulk. Remember, we've covered a lot of ideas here. You can do as little or as much of this as you like. You don't have to do everything. I certainly didn't do everything, but what I did helped, and everything you do will raise your odds at attracting readers. I joined Instagram to access Threads. Here I direct people to a video about self-care over the holidays and plans to talk to a YA readers group at my local library where I'd volunteered in the past. Numbers versus emotions. Even if you say you've won by just publishing your book, comparisonitis or author ads and pitches, subscriber counts, and sales rankings will get to you. When pre-order numbers roll in, you will be emotionally all over the place, including questioning if you're delivering on the product you promised. I nearly fell through the floor when I realised people have actually ordered this. Lean into your support groups and on other authors during this time. Remember why you started, and you're publishing a book. That's incredible. Don't take it personally if someone unfollows you or if an ARC reader doesn't contact you back. Be professional, use common sense and show respect. People's timelines and lives are saturated with people vying for their attention, and you have no clue what's going on in their lives. Warning. There is an influx of so-called marketing strategists and book promoters following writers on social media. They will play on your emotions and insecurities. The majority of these are bots or do not have a large amount of followers themselves. Believe in yourself and learn from other authors and how they've done it. And remember, everything can be done for free. I never paid for an ad, and I'm not going to start now. You've come this far. On that note, paying for reviews and ads. Only consider paid ads if you know you're going to be a bestseller. For example, you're confident you have a strong following already, and only for a short period of time to maximise on the golden month of post-debut buzz. Maybe after that, when you continue a series. Paying for ads, though, is never necessary. If you have spare cash, I would advise investing in a month subscription to a social media management app to schedule your posts in advance on run-up to launch. If you really want to spend big, research names who work with traditional publishers, sites like Readsy. However, even there, do your research. Note, it is illegal to post paid-for reviews on places like Amazon. However, paying for a service like Booksprout or Booksiren to match you with prospective ARC readers is acceptable. Copyright in ads and posts. Make sure to use copyright-free images, sound or video, or that you own the rights to, or have been given permission to use. Canva is a fantastic free resource. If you have spicy or not safe for work novels, considering doing an alternative, more modest book cover is well for people to buy. I did that in terms of my hardcover, because I knew that some people would really like to read it, but wouldn't be so keen on there being a teenage girl and wolf on the front cover. That became my second bestseller behind my paperback on launch, despite the increased price. Showing the differences between the hardback version of my novel and the paperback. Use the YouTube and TikTok libraries for sound for a quick start for music on platforms. However, those sounds can only be used within those respective platforms. So, a sound from the YouTube library can only be used on YouTube. If you want a website which will offer you sound that is licensed for multiple websites, you can research places like chillhop.com. There are also YouTube channels dedicated to copyright-free music with creative licenses. Here is a channel I like to use for my audio on YouTube called Audio Library for no copyright background music. Lastly, have fun with it. See an online trend you like? Do it. Film a pile of books you love with your book being revealed at the bottom. Make that little graphic of your cover on a physical book and an e-reader side by side in outer space. Flip to page 112 of your book to see what the first piece of dialogue says about you. And most outlandish of all, tell people why they should read your book. Studies have shown that giving people a reason to do something, no matter how jokey, can improve the likelihood of them doing it. Take your shot, give yourself the best chance, and have fun on this side quest, hopefully making friends along the way. You've got this. In 2018, I wrote this message on my whiteboard in my office. It reads, "An author is a writer who got around to actually writing down their idea. It's 2024. I'm happy to invite you now into my YA paranormal romance sci-fi fusion world. Today, I level up from writer to author. Cheers to escapism and happy reading." Here is my book trailer. During the book trailer, I narrate the blurb from the back of my cover. This entire video was created for free. The footage clips were from canva.com, edited to match the tone and colour composition overall. The music was found at Audio Library, the YouTube channel, and is also copyright free. I recorded my own voice using my mobile phone. The audio was then edited and cleaned up using Audacity, a free software, and the video using DaVinci Resolve, also free. The animated book cover was also made using Canva, as were all of my adverts. Inspired? Where do you go now? Check out these videos in the AuthorTube Writing Conference 2025 playlist. Link down in the description. How to rank and reach readers with your author website by Novel Marketing. Beyond the first sale, the post-launch blueprint every non-fiction author needs to know by Book Launchers. Marketing metadata for book sales by Publish Drive. Amazon Advertising Secrets from the Pros by Dale L. Roberts. Cover Diagnostics: How to Know If Your Book Cover Isn't Working by Elaine Canyon. Your Author Platform Made Easy: Showcase books, events, and build a professional website by the WTC Creatives, hosted on the ST Houston YouTube channel. How to Create Graphics on Canva for Free by A.F. Stewart. Better Speaking for Better Reader Interactions by author Alexa Shea. And last but certainly not least, Going Local: How to Grow Your Indie Author Career Through Your Community by Devon Gambrell Clark. Good luck with your debut. I'm going to transfer this back to Adara now in real time to answer your questions. Hello. Thank you everyone for coming. Let's see. Test. Let me know if you can see or hear me. There we go. We are live. Wonderful. Oh. So this is literally the tip of the iceberg where all of this is concerned. It's literally the tip of the iceberg. Hello. I can finally say, yeah, I can finally say that this is done. Seriously, this is a starting point, and I hope you will all go on to have fun. That was the biggest advice I got, is literally have fun with this. There are some little tips and tricks that I've picked up along the way from watching others, but ultimately it all comes together. If you don't want to do a trend, you don't have to. If you see something that looks fun, do it, and do gamify it. Really do. I love that term. Please put your questions in the chat if you have any. Let's say, is there anything off the top of my head that I could add to this? Yeah, don't underestimate having a different cover option if you are doing physical books, because some people do really want it to be more kind of toned down so it will blend into their shelf backwards easier. Because, yeah, I would say genre guilt is something when you feel like you're marketing, so be proud of that because it will come through, but reader guilt is also real, and you can pick up on that and you can work with it. Thank you for the compliments on this avatar. I appreciate it. Checking some collaborations there. Right. Yeah, I do prefer to be more behind an avatar rather than having my face. I literally had this really crude cartoon for the first 2 years that I was on Twitter, and I kind of had to build up confidence before showing my face. Most people who are writers like to hide and tend to be, you know, introverts. So it's nice to kind of come full circle. I did get, as you saw in some of those videos, in the front of the camera at one point. But yeah, I like this for platforms like Twitch or YouTube. And it shows more of my personality as an anime lover and a manga reader. It just fit more. We have about 10 more minutes. Any questions? at this point, I would say that the Vtuber is probably part of my marketing as well. Where can I get this kind of animated avatar? I started with something that was literally a cartoon, which was called a PNG tuber, where the eyes were animated blinking, just open and closed. And I did that for free on Picrew. As long as you go down and you filter for the ones with commercial licenses specifically, if you have aspirations of ever becoming monetized. As for this is a model that I bought on Etsy, which was then personalized. And it does run on specific software to get this running. There are a lot of how-to videos out there on how to set up a VTube model. But I use 2 bits of software for this particular model, which is VTube Studio and a one in the middle with called VBridger. I will type the spelling of Picrew into the chat. There you go. Picrew. So that is for a different type of model. I'll showcase the differences. This is called a live 2D model, and I got it on Etsy, which I can then customize. However, there is a different format of model that you can use. Like I said, which is a kind of an animated picture. The eyes blink, the mouth opens when you open, and that's purely tracked by sound. So when you talk, it talks. You don't even need a webcam for that. And I highly recommend that as a starting point, is a bridge to this. You're welcome. People are saying thanks in the chat. Yeah, a lot of people who originally read my novel said that it had kind of anime and manga-esque tones. And I think that kind of, that comes through. It shows, my interests show, which is a good thing. That's a good thing. Marilyn asks, how did you manage to get in touch with the main library that has a copy of all the books published? Thank you. Now that is something that will happen automatically, at least in Britain. It's called the Legal Depository System. And when you publish a novel, the publisher, if you are indie, that could be you, must send one copy of your novel to the British Library. You will have to look that up. It's kind of, the onus is on the rights holder. If you're indie, that's you. If you have a publisher, that will be down to your publisher. I was then invited, I didn't know this, there are another 5 legal depository libraries in my country who have the option of requesting it, and that will be on you to fulfill. Sybil Espada is saying VGen is also a great site to find artists that do PNG and live 2D models. Yes. VGen is pro-artist and anti-AI, if that's your vibe. Some artists on there I've noticed are fully booked out. They are so popular. And it tends to be by genre, but whatever you do, whether it be marketing or a PNG tuber, always start from free if you can. See if you like it, test it out, that sort of a thing. Let's have a look. Any more questions? I appreciate I have thrown a lot at you. And I think that's because a lot of different people are in a lot of different places in their writing journey. And I wanted to reflect that. Because being kind of pre-debut is a unique situation. Some of these, though, you know, when I give hints on series and things, that could also feed in. People can hopefully take bits from wherever they're at. But especially for pre-debut, there is an awful lot of things to have to get to grips with to publish a novel. And I wish you all the best with that. If it's your first, especially, good luck and congratulations when you do it. Please let me know. I will look at it. Reach out. I will be monitoring any comments from time travelers as well, who watch this in the future or who come back to it at a later date. If you have any questions then, also drop them in the chat and in the comments section when the chat is closed. That's also perfectly fine. Please do check out whatever sessions are next. Hop around and do be time travellers. Inca York says, I have 11 books out under this pen name, but I'm starting a new pen name and want to do it right from the very beginning. So this has been great info. Thank you, Inca. And whatever the pen name is, I wish you the best of luck, because it is a new start. It's a new brand. And I think once you've been through it once, that you will have more of an idea of what your process is like, what you'd like to change, what not. And I think after 1 year of reflection out from my debut, that was important. I'm glad people are finding this helpful. The other thing I did was to note, in terms of marketing, was I specifically picked a date where I researched, are there any big names being debuted at this point? Is there anyone on social media I know who has books coming out on the same day or even the same week at either side? So I picked the 1st of March. It was very random for people. It's the run up to the end of tax years, which is complicated for most people. But I said, you know what? I'm not going to step on anyone's toes. I'll be the only one coming out. And that worked. So that's another tip that's been in the back of my head since I pre-recorded this. Sybil says, have you been to any book convention kind of events? I often see horror stories on social media. I haven't. But the very first 2-3 books I ever bought that were indie, I didn't know they were indie at the time, were from anime and gaming conventions. So not necessarily book conventions. I think with book conventions that can be quite iffy because everyone's there selling the same thing. But if you go to an anime convention where most people are selling, you know, art, and you have a novel, then that itself is novel. And the very first book, which was indie that I bought, was actually what's now called an isekai, where you get sent to another world with gaming mechanics. Tends to be fantasy, that sort of thing, medieval. I had no clue. I just saw this cover. I thought, this is what I like to watch, and picked it up. And there is a beauty in being indie and choosing to be indie. If you want that sort of kind of gaming, geeky-esque niche thing, if people are telling you, you're okay, you know, YA paranormal romance is dead, no traditional publicist is going to pick it up. No, it's thriving in indie. It is. It has its fan base. They are there. They are dedicated and they are committed. Bastride says, I always stop by the authors at non-author conventions. It's fun to talk with them. It really is. And they have so much insight, so much imagination, just like everyone else there. They may not have the arts, but they know their fandom, and that's fantastic. Sybil says, conventions do seem like a potential place to sell for indies, but yeah, you've got to be careful. Yes, do be careful. Always do your research. If it seems like it's too good to be true, it probably is. For example, with this Vtuber model, I class myself more as a writer first and a Vtuber second, so I don't see Vtubing as my main career. But it is a way that I can portray myself in a style which hopefully reflects some of the more comedic aspects that come and fan-y, like fan type and geeky things that my characters portray. I question if any writer has not at least tried their hand in this day and age at fan fiction at least once. I think that's where a lot of people get their start. We are technically out of time. This is where I'm told to give people a 5-10 minute skip to go to the next session. Please go back, have a look and see if any of those other videos that I've mentioned in the playlist, which Katz has highlighted in the chat very thankfully. Thankful to her. Have a look. If there's anything there that relates or you want to explore as a next step, please do. I don't know where I'd be without tutorials on things like Canva. I even created the side and the back of my novels using Canva. It can be done. Sybil Espada says they're planning an isekai type of story. I learned the subgenre is called Portal Fantasy for non-weebs. Yes, I put Portal Fantasy on the back cover of my novel because it includes that. Although mine's more mirror portals for vampires. But to me, they're wormholes to outer space, but mirror portals. Last Right says, everyone have a good stretch, drink some water, and thank you. Great talk. Yes, thank you for coming. I'm going to end this now. Time travellers, please do put your questions for me in the comment section after this. I will still be looking at this, and I will keep this video, for as long as my platform goes, which is probably a long time. Lurkers, you have also been welcome. Thank you, and bye everyone!